Hello again, all. Thank you for coming back to my channel. This is Jackie with Jackie of All Trades. Today, we are going to be tackling the issue of multi-level ceilings. Many of you homeowners know what I'm talking about. In my opinion, it breaks up the flow to a room, but we have to deal with it. For me personally, I've got 3 levels in my kitchen, and that just is horrible. The level above the dining area is kind of the normal level height ceiling. Then we have the drop level in the kitchen area itself, and that is actually masking plumbing work in the bathrooms upstairs. And the 3rd level covers ductwork, and it's kind of necessary if I want to be able to vent things out of the house, but it really is what I would call unattractive. Yeah. So anyway, in today's video, I'm using a cost-effective solution to make the situation just a little bit more bearable. Using $35 worth of peel and stick wallpaper, I will create a faux wood beam that ticks both boxes of form and function, being both beautiful and purposeful in its design. Let's watch. All right, good morning, everybody. It's Jackie again. What I'm doing at the moment is prepping the surface above. So I've been sanding because there's a big buildup of grease up there. So I'm gonna kind of sand the most of that off. I'm gonna wipe it down with some degreasing wipes, let it dry a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and put that paper across. I've tried to measure most of it, but this should be an adventure. We're all gonna have some fun with this here in a minute when I when I try to get this paper to go on here. I've done it for these other 2 sides. It has always been a bit of a fun time, and I don't know if you can even see in that corner over there. It's hard to see from here, but when I was cutting the cabinets, I had to cut the piece out to vent up there. Where the vent is going up, the piece of the cabinet has come out. I took that little piece of cabinet that I cut out of there and I actually glued it, yeah, the magic of television, right here to kind of create kind of an end cap piece. The end cap piece is supposed to make it look like this is an actual wood beam here. We shall see if it turns out that way. Anyway, watch if you want. Learn from my many, many mistakes. But this is a really fun process. I'm so happy I'm doing it. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm using my sander here in case it's not obvious to give the area a thorough sand, followed by my vacuum cleaner to vacuum up all the dust and bits that have been generated here. I already prepped this area earlier with a thorough degreasing, and now I'm going over it a second time in preparation to lay the paper. All right, after vacuuming, now I've grabbed my wipes and I'm wiping down the area really good. I'm making sure that I wipe it down thoroughly because I want the space to have good traction and be dry so that paper will adhere very well, and also want to clean off all the areas that I've kind of gunked up with the sanding process. All right, I'm gonna give this a couple of minutes to dry. While it is drying, I'm gonna have myself a well-deserved second cup of coffee, and then I will be back. All right, I'm back. It's been about 30 minutes since I wiped down the countertops and the duct board up there really good. I let it dry. I've already sanded it, and so now I'm about to put this paper on. I told you it's a nice wood grain paper. I got it off of Amazon. It looks really nice when it's on. I've actually measured out and already pre-cut 84 inches of it because I know that part goes kind of across the top. The last little piece over there may be a bit of a challenge because, as you can see, you know, I've got to wrap it around and around the outside here. So we'll have to see how that works. Hanging paper is always a challenge. The bubbles, the laying it straight, you know, the getting it to be flat. And just enjoy the show. That's all I can say. Enjoy the show. Notice as I'm taking my time to meticulously lay this paper, I'm using the microwave to kind of hold it up in balance, but it's really a 2-person job, and this is only going to hold me halfway through the job here, so I'm going to have to find a more durable solution. All right, so that heavier bulk piece at the end that I have over there is just a little bit, it's weighty. And so I really need it to be up while I'm moving across, or else I risk tearing the paper. Even though it's a very hardy paper, I want to make sure that I have it right. So right now I'm going to look for something like a box or something that will help me to get that done. What do you want? I think you heard me, didn't you? This is my lovely love. Give me a kiss. This boy. All right. I'm thinking. Sorry. What's that toilet, boy? Okay, this box seemed to do the trick. It actually held up and balanced the roll for a while, but eventually I did have to cut the piece off so I could continue working. I love the magic of editing. It really makes it seem like this job went very quickly, when in reality, just this corner alone probably took me about 20 minutes. It was really a tough job. I took my time and was meticulous so this edge would appear seamless and realistic. Okay, that was an hour. An hour. Just trying to get that up there just like that. And I still haven't tucked it under the seams yet. So I'm gonna go back through and tuck it under so that it's nice and clean. That's gonna take another little while. But as you can see, I took my time working in that corner to make sure that I got that right. I need to be able to tuck this under all the way across, because as you can see, it goes over the tops right now of all the cabinet doors. And so the place where the joint sticks out on the doors, it's difficult to get in there because it's so tight between that bulkhead and the actual joint. I think I'm gonna have to remove these two doors. I just put these two doors on, so I'm not really trying to remove those. It is quite a conundrum. I've got to figure out what I want to do. But for the moment, I know I want to remove those two doors, so that's what I'm going to do next. Actually, I've got to change. I've gotten hot. I need a little bit of a break, and I'll be right back. All right, it is still morning, and I'm going into hour number 2 on this daggone wood beam. So as you can see behind me, I took the doors off over here because I knew I wasn't going to be satisfied. They were already off over here for another reason. But anyway, I'm about to get to tucking it under now. So I started, and then I said, oh yeah, I forgot to start recording. So I know you guys want to see everything. Well, as much as I can show you. I really need a camera crew here to do everything I want to do, but I am a woman of modest means. So this is what we're gonna do, and it should be obvious. All I'm doing, I'm just tucking the wood grain paper under there. So that's what's happening. So as I said, I'd already kind of started tucking the paper under, and then I realized, hey, you're not recording. So I started the recording again. All right, so what I'm doing is just really trusting that it's adhering well up there. So I'm pulling it tight. Here. Once again, you've got to love the magic of editing. Look at me go here. It looks like I'm making very short order of tucking this wallpaper. But to be quite honest, it was a very meticulous, very slow going job, and my fingers were a little sore at the end of it. You'll notice here I'm using an impromptu tool, trying to make sure that I get all of the wrinkles and bubbles out, and I'm also being very resourceful with the scissors, taking my time to make sure I get that corner just right. It took me a while, but I think the results at the end speak for themselves. I'm very happy with it. All right, I'm worn out. That was another 30 minutes. But I'm liking the result, right? So this is looking so much better. And I'll start over here and I'll just take you all the way around. So now instead of that ugly orange duct up there that doesn't go with anything, now we have a nice faux wood beam. You know, so glad wood is coming back in kitchens because this now looks like a feature. Looks like something that the house was designed with. if you weren't looking too closely, I will take you over here because you did see I did a lot of work in this corner. And remember, I wanted it to kind of come out. Look at this, I forgot to take that piece of paper off there. But now it comes out from the wall a little bit. And I wrapped it around so that it actually does look like a beam there. And when people come in, it's into the bottom there. The hope is they won't even notice it. So I will cut that little piece of paper off that I left over there. That's bothering me. But otherwise, for today, mission accomplished. Success, I'll tell you. I've had contractors, real estate agents, including a real estate agent neighbor of mine, friends, and others walk in here and they see the wood beam and all of them really think that it's real wood. And I don't think it's necessarily that it's like 100% looks like real wood, but it is believable. The wood beam kind of fades into the background. It's kind of background noise, and that for me was the point. It fools the eye and it works for me for now. So with this in mind, I thought I'd give you just a few quick tips from my experience. The first thing I wanted to say is plan ahead. For me, I already had a vision in my mind of the color scheme that I wanted, and peel and stick wood grain paper does come in a variety of colors and hues. It also has different lengths and widths. One thing, for instance, I knew that when I had a beam, I did not want to have broken up pieces of paper that I'd have to overlap, so I made sure that I got a roll that was long enough to where I could cut one long solid piece, and that way I didn't have to worry about cutting them up and like trying to line everything up. Make sure you adequately plan to get the exact amount that you need. I knew actually that I wanted to have kind of a natural wood look, you know, like a natural grain look, and I didn't want there to be any color to it. And so I actually chose 3 different versions of it. The one in the middle is the one I ultimately went with, but I brought them all kind of into my space, and I did samples where I put them up on the wall and I'd let it sit there for like a week while I looked at it to see if it's something that I liked or that I thought would go with the space. And that planning actually made sure that I picked the right choice in the end. Also, from the beginning, I knew I wanted to go with a peel and stick option because I don't want to be up on a ladder trying to hang this paper and having to deal with paste and all of that. So peel and stick made sure that it was easy. I just took out, peeled little pieces at a time and worked small areas and just kind of kept peeling as I go, and you can see that in the video. But I also had some 3M adhesive spray on hand for those stubborn areas that didn't want to lay flat. Later on down the line, I do have the idea to replace this paper with an even more realistic vinyl plank option. But for now, I know I want the paper to last. So with that in mind, my advice to you is when you are laying this paper, please do take your time. Taking your time will ensure that you have long-lasting results. I think that's it for now. I mean, if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me down in the comment section. And that reminds me, if you like this video, please do give me a shout out in the comments. For my sake and content creators like me, it really does go a long way if you hit the like button below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe to my channel because this is the kind of content that I put out, and I will be putting out more videos just like this. So for now, we'll count this as another job well done, and I will see you next time.